The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a work that goes far beyond a simple Western and can be interpreted as a precise study of power, strategy, manipulation, and survival in an environment where stable moral rules do not exist, only games of interest. Much like the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, the film reveals a world in which victory does not necessarily belong to the strongest or the fastest, but to the one who best understands human behavior, knows how to conceal intentions, and uses time, information, and image as weapons. Each of the three protagonists represents a distinct way of exercising power, showing how different strategies can coexist and clash on the same board. Blondie, the Good, builds his strength through emotional control and an economy of words. He observes more than he speaks, acts only when necessary, and always maintains an invisible advantage over his adversaries, perfectly applying the law that teaches one to always say less than necessary. His apparent morality is not pure altruism, but a strategic choice he creates, a reputation reliable enough to be underestimated while coldly planning his next moves. Blondie understands that lasting power comes not from impulse, but from patience and preparation, which is why he is rarely caught off guard. His relationship with Tuco demonstrates the law of using others as tools, maintaining temporary alliances that are useful as long as they serve a clear purpose. Tuco, the Ugly, represents chaotic power, driven by survival and extreme adaptability. Though impulsive, loud, and seemingly disorganized, he possesses an instinctive intelligence that allows him to survive in hostile scenarios. Tuco deeply understands fear, both his own and that of others, and uses it as fuel for action. He violates several laws of power, such as the one that recommends emotional control, but compensates with a rare ability to improvise. His strength lies in never following a predictable pattern, which makes him difficult to control. At the same time, his emotional instability prevents him from achieving full dominance of the situation, illustrating how power without discipline tends to be temporary. Angel Eyes, the Bad, is the embodiment of power exercised through fear, cruelty, and calculated predictability. He follows orders only as long as they serve his interests, demonstrating the law that states commitments should be flexible when power is at stake. Angel Eyes understands that a reputation for ruthlessness is a powerful weapon, as it paralyzes enemies even before confrontation. However, his fatal mistake is believing too much in his own image and underestimating Blondie's silent cunning. He relies excessively on brute force and intimidation, ignoring the law that warns against the dangers of appearing invincible, which ultimately makes his moves predictable. The Gold, the central element of the narrative, functions as an absolute symbol of power, desire, and corruption, similar to the role power plays in Robert Greene's analyses. All characters orbit around it, and their moral decisions become secondary to the promise of dominance and freedom. The film makes it clear that power does not transform people, it merely reveals who they truly are. Blondie remains calculating, Tuco becomes even more desperate, and Angel Eyes sinks deeper into violence. The pursuit of gold exposes how ambition reshapes alliances, destroys loyalties, and creates an environment in which trust is a constant risk. The setting of the American Civil War reinforces this logic by depicting a world in collapse, where institutions have lost authority and power has fragmented. In this context, those who understand the invisible rules of the game survive. Blondie thrives because he knows how to move through chaos without becoming emotionally entangled in it, applying the law of constant adaptation. Tuco survives because he accepts chaos as a natural part of life, while Angel Eyes attempts to dominate it through force, failing by ignoring its unpredictable variables. The final duel perfectly synthesizes the philosophy of power presented both in the film and in the 48 Laws of Power. Victory does not belong to the one who appears most confident or most dangerous, but to the one who controlled the information from the beginning. Blondie had already decided the outcome before the confrontation even began, keeping his advantage hidden until the very last second. This final revelation demonstrates the law that teaches one to always keep a card hidden for true power lies in knowing something others do not. The good, the bad, and the ugly thus functions as a silent manual on power in its raw state. It shows that power is neither fair nor moral, nor rewarding for everyone, but follows clear patterns for those who know how to observe them. As in the 48 Laws of Power, the work reveals that winning is not a matter of virtue, but of strategy, perception, and control. In the end, the film leaves an uncomfortable and realistic message in a world governed by conflict. The one who survives and wins is the one who understands that power is not conquered with weapons alone, but with a cold mind, precise timing, and the ability to never fully reveal one's intentions.